What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be going through probably the biggest day for F1 2017 news you'll probably get this year, and that is to do with career mode. Now, this video is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be so long because there's so much revealed in this trailer, and I'm actually going to go through it like frame by frame, like Arav did a few weeks ago, so shout out to him. I'm going to do something very similar today because, yeah, there's simply so much in this trailer that we have to take it very slowly if we want to kind of take in all the information that's being presented to us today. So we're just going to cut all the bull crap and jump straight into it. So the trailer starts off, Peggy 3, as you guys know. Scott will make a joke about 2-year-olds today, not being able to view the game. But we'll carry on. This is a shot of the Renault. It looks like there's possibly a reserve driver piloting this. It's got a French flag on the side pod there, number 34. Now that's not Nico Hulkenberg's number, nor is it Jolyon Palmer's number. He's number 30, I believe. And at the top there, it's got MAPFRE. Now I don't know young drivers all that too well, but that name there or that writing to me doesn't seem familiar. It could be a test driver, or it could even be something completely different that I don't really know about. So that's the opening shot. We then get a shot of the McLaren, again number 23. So it's neither Fernando Alonso's number, nor is it a number carried by Stoffel Vandoorne. So I think the theme here is possibly reserve drivers, test drivers, one of the two. We then have the 4 of the Toro Rosso, and now we know Carlos Sainz nor Daniel Kvyat run that number either. You're getting a similar theme here, aren't you? Then we cut to another shot at Albert Park. This is Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber. Nice little tracking shot. An overtake by Romain Grosjean. We're not going to dwell on these too much. I just want to move through this quite quickly. Slow motion shot of the Mercedes and the Red Bull fighting each other. And then we cut to shots of the Red Bull in intermediate conditions. It looks quite sunny from what you can see there. But then it kind of transitions for the next few shots as he goes up Eau Rouge. You can see it's a light sprinkler rain. And then in the next one, heavy rain. And you can see all the different particles of rain. And it just looks graphically very, very nice. By the way, if I haven't mentioned already, if you want to see the full trailer, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can go check that out. And then if you want to see the breakdown of me, what I'm doing, feel free. So we're going to carry on. More of the details are left, after these initial few shots. Again, showing some more racing. This is Sebastian Vettel making a move on Lewis Hamilton. And this is where they talk about the massively expanded career mode. Today I'm going to be openly talking about all the features of career mode. So sit down and get some popcorn because this is going to take a while. In the bottom right screen you can see Emma Jenkins. That is the career mode PA or agent, however you want to call her. She was present in 2016, and she was the lady who made sure you got your contracts, or she fired you if you were underperforming. A lot of people were thinking that Emma Jenkins wasn't going to be in F1 2017 because they saw Jonathan in some leaked screenshots a few weeks ago, but there she is. And as you can see on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, that is where you'll go in to meet your agent. You'll discuss contracts there, and if you get fired, you will get fired in that room. So it's not in the view of the public. You're not getting fired in the view of Christian Horner, which would be pretty damn weird. Another tiny look of that little room that Emma Jenkins meets you in. Yeah, as I said, she'll hand you contracts, and it just looks a little bit more detailed now. It's a bit more professional. She's actually got her own office space. It's no longer handled in the hospitality area of where the teams stay, so that's a big positive. We have some shots of some racing here in China. Nothing really to see there, just some up-close shots of the cars. And then, again, we see Emma Jenkins. This time she's not in her own little office. This is actually in the hospitality area, which you can see has been revamped. I think in the press release, Codemasters talk about the kind of locations of the hospitality areas, and just the paddock areas have been moved to new areas and just expanded upon, and you can see like a much different motorhome, which actually looks quite nice. I believe this is Austria. The top is open and the lighting is really good. Emma has had a lot of work done to her. I'm not saying surgically, no, but no, graphically, the faces are a lot more realistic, which is good to see. We then move on to the next frame of the video, and this is going to be pertaining to R&D upgrades. So If you couldn't tell, we have a lot more R&D upgrades to go through this year, 115 to be specific. Now, we have to go really slowly here because this is the R&D tree that we get in career mode. So, I read in the press release that there's something like 4.5 times more specific things to upgrade in relation to your car this year. So, versus 2016, which only had like, I don't know, 20 or something small and ridiculous like that. So when it comes to upgrading your car, if you're going to stick with that team and put all the upgrades on, it's going to take 7-8 seasons, the developers were telling me, maybe even longer if you're not really hard and sticking to your practice programs. So it's going to be really interesting, and it might take... I don't know. It's going to be interesting in terms of my career mode. I'm going to be going with a slower team, the McLaren, like I've said in previous videos. It may take me a long time. It may take me the whole lifespan of the game to win the championship if I stay with McLaren, which is going to be pretty hectic. But we have lots of different aspects when it comes to this tree. You can see the bottom part of the screen. We've got aerodynamics. Nice voice. We have... engine, aerodynamics, chassis, and then we also have a reliability section of the tree, which is right at the top. So, as you can see here with this diagram, you have to, let's go back a little bit, because the way that it works is you have to start your way at the inside part of the tree, and you kind of branch your way out. So, the ones in the inner part of the tree, within each different, department, they're going to be cheaper, they're going to take less time to put on the car, and as you expand further and further out, things are going to be more expensive, they're going to take longer to put on the car, so they could take 2 or 3 race weekends, and they can also fail as well. So you can see on the inner part where the little squares are there, those are the kind of reliability of those parts going on. So if you decide to spend more tokens on those inner parts and reliability, then your likelihood of success of that upgrade, passing and staying on the car is going to be higher, and you're not going to waste as much time trying to fit on upgrades and then have them fail later on in the season. So what happens when you get a failure? It means that you basically have to pay for the part again, but the next time that it happens, you go to upgrade, I think you pay like a discount, and then I think the second attempt is like guaranteed, I believe. But yeah, it can be pretty frustrating putting in all the effort, all the hours in terms of just practice programs and then having the upgrade fail. It is quite realistic, and it's definitely going to be testing for a lot of you guys who are really going to work on the upgrading of the cars. So I'm just going to keep fast forwarding here. I realize I'm going at a very slow pace. This is the chassis screen. There's also different levels of upgrades. So you've got like is it a hexagon kind of shape? Those are like the smaller upgrades, and then you've got a bigger box, so that's like a medium level upgrade, and then the huge rectangle on the far right sides of the chassis, that is an ultimate upgrade. So those are going to be your bigger, more expensive parts. It'll take longer to put on the car, but they'll also give the biggest performance, and I think I mentioned that earlier as well. So a lot of depth to the R&D part of things, that's for sure. Alright, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but this top one that you see on screen here, this is the reliability section. I believe the top line there is gearbox, a few of those power units, and possibly like chassis and suspension parts. I'm not entirely sure, because I don't have the graphic on screen to say what those exact parts are, but that is all for reliability, and there is a lot there to get your teeth stuck into. We're going to move on to the next screen now. This is the new practice programs that have been implemented into F1 2017. This one is the fuel saving program. So basically you have to run around a racetrack and save a specific amount of fuel and still fit in within the target time to pass the program. There is also a race strategy program, and that kind of ties in all the other practice programs you've done. So tire wear, pace, fuel saving, all that kind of thing. And it just bundles it all into one. And that's a really good way of gauging how good your car is going to be in the race. So you've got those elements as well as the ones we had from last year. So the track acclimatization, qualifying pace, and tire wear test. I think that's all of them. Alright, we're going to press on with the trailer now, because I feel like I've I've barely made a dent into this trailer itself. We're going to move on to car management and reliability. This is different to research and development. This is actually your engine and your gearbox. So this is going to be ultimately determined by the way you drive in career mode. So at the top there, we've got the power unit. We've got the different specifics for that. So at the top, we've got internal combustion engine. We've got the motor general unit, the kinetic parts, motor generator unit. That is heat. Then we have energy store, turbocharger, and control electronics. Now these are all the different components that make up the power unit, and they all wear at different rates. So you've got to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't get above like 50%. Then it's going to start turning yellow or orange, like you can see there on the graphic. And yeah, make sure you change those bits at the right time in the weekend, because if you change it, say in practice 3, and it takes up too much time to change, then you can eat up into some of your session time in qualifying or any other practice or race sessions that you have over the course of the weekend. So you have to be aware of that when you change your things and when you actually decide to use them up, because you want to be using older power unit parts in the sessions that don't matter, like practice. Then when you get to the important sessions like quali in the race, that's when you stick the new bits in, especially if you're at a power sensitive track. Moving on to the bottom, we have the gearbox. You have 4 gearboxes to use over the course of the season, and I think you have to use them for like 5 races. If you change it earlier than the 5th race, then you'll get a grid penalty. And same with the engine management. If you use a 5th power unit part, that's a grid penalty for the race as well. So be kind to your engine, and it will be kind to you. And what do you know? Codemasters are teasing me already, because the next few shots is going to be a true reflection of my career mode season, because I'm in the McLaren Honda. But yeah, in all seriousness, I don't know how realistic this is going to be, whether there's going to be higher chances of retirement for me being the McLaren Honda in career mode. I don't know if that's going to be, ridiculously, frustrating, or if like other manufacturers like Mercedes are not going to have any reliability problems at all. That is something that remains to be seen, and I hope that they get the balance right, because yes, we want to be realistic and we want to cater to what's happening in real life, but at the same time, I don't want to be Fernando Alonso. I don't want to be sticking a deck chair out under a podium halfway through the season because I've got nothing better to do. I actually do want to win the championship, and I want to do it with McLaren Honda, so I need to work on that reliability. So we move on to the next section of the trailer, and this is the alternate track layout. So we got Bahrain, USA, Silverstone, and the unannounced track that we're getting revealed today is Japan. So I don't know how they're going to shorten the layout of Japan. It was a track that I never really saw having an alternate layout, but apparently it's going to be in F1 2017, and these are just tracking shots of the different tracks. And oh yeah, there's the shortened bit. So you go through the first sector, and then you turn right, and you basically end up near 130R, I'm guessing, in the 3rd sector. So that cuts out a decent portion of the racetrack. And as well with Suzuka, that track has been completely, revolutionized. It's been completely changed. They like re-scanned the track, and they redid it. There's so many changes that's happened to the first sector in Japan. It's so undulated, and it's quite crazy how much it's different, and it just feels so much more rewarding to drive that racetrack now. But I don't want to get caught up in that too much. We have the F1 Classic cars, which I know you guys have been hearing about way too much, so we're going to gloss over this quite quickly. This is Jonathan, the guy who is going to be taking us through the different classic cars that he has over the course of the career mode season. And yeah, we're going to be doing different invitational events, which you'll find out about in the next few frames. And here they are. So the first one we have is Overtake Challenge. Basically, we'll be jumping in a car, and the goal will be to overtake, say, 40 cars. And if we do that, then we'll get some career mode points or resource points. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely going to help our reputation within the Formula 1 paddock if we impress. So, yeah, there's Overtake Challenge. We have Pursuit. So, I'm guessing it's something quite similar. We're in a faster car. We have to chase down a slower car over the course of a 3-lap race, as you can see there. In the corner of the screen. And there's one other game mode, which is Checkpoints. So basically like a time attack kind of challenge. You're going around a racetrack, you have, say, 20 seconds to make it to the next portion of the track. If you make it in time, you get additional time added on, and the goal is to go as far as you can until you run out of time. And yeah, there's going to be some points allocated for how far you go, obviously. And there's also time attack, which I haven't heard all too much about. Maybe if it's like the older F1 games, you jump in a bunch of cars, different tracks, and try and set the fastest time possible, and then it's accumulated up across all the different challenges, and then there might be a leaderboard or something like that. Maybe it's like that, maybe it's something different, but it looks like there are other cars on the track as well, so I'm not too sure how that's going to work, in all honesty. Okay, now we come to, again, this is a feature I've mentioned in previous videos, single and multi-class events. Basically, if you have all the classic cars on the track at the same time, there are different classes, the faster ones and the slower ones, and basically your goal is to win the race within your class. So if you're racing like a 1995 Ferrari and you're coming up against a 2008 McLaren, it's obviously going to be in a different class. You're not expected to beat that car, but you're expected to beat cars within the same class, within, you know, a similar kind of performance index. So yeah, there's those kind of races for you to participate in as well. Hopefully we're coming to the end of the trailer here, because I'm honestly starting to lose my voice. It's getting quite dire. A lot of different tracking shots of the different classic cars, 12 of them, which have all been announced. Check out my previous videos if you want to know what classic cars are in the game. Lots of different just gameplay shots of all the different cars. We've seen Bahrain, we've seen Austria, now we're back at Japan, going up our Rouge in the 2010 Red Bull, which looks absolutely fascinating. And one of the more recently announced features was Monaco at night. And this is one of the first things I'm going to be doing on F1 2017 when I can get a hold of it. It just looks absolutely stunning. A lot of these are new shots. So we've never had an F1 race at night, not in real life. It's the only kind of thing we can dream of. And we're going to be getting it in F1 2017. And this is the closing shot, which I'll show you guys because it absolutely sounds awesome. That little pop, that little bang right at the end of the video, that is F1 2017. All the career mode, the single player features that are going to be in this game. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I apologize if there's anything that I've missed. There was a lot going on in that video. That is everything in terms of the features. There is still online things to talk about, but I don't know if I can talk about it today. As soon as I can talk about that stuff, that'll be coming in a future video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Let me know what you're most excited about with F1 2017. Only like 3 weeks to go, which is very, very exciting. One other thing as well, which I haven't talked about, is career mode helmets. I don't think we're going to have any of the 2016 helmets in the new game. They're going to be completely new ones, and they're going to be really good ones, apparently, because Lee Mather said on Twitter that they're going to be helmets that were handpicked from a competition that Codemasters held themselves. So there's going to be a lot of interesting looking helmets. I haven't seen them myself, but hopefully they look stunning, because yeah, helmets are a really important part of the customization and making you feel like you are represented fully with the helmet that you like in the game. So yeah, that's this video for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2017 videos. And yeah, I'll be doing career mode. Any kind of preview gameplay I can get my hands on, I'll try and cover that as soon as I can. At the moment, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Stay subscribed to the channel to find out more about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time. Time for a drink.